appreciate the hype and the kind words and just, being here to watch the games. And welcome to the new Slopes. Hidden Cup 3, Slopes was a brand new map. Hidden Cup 4, it will return. It will also be one of the maps in the qualifier pool, and Liereyy is in the red here. This is a 5-game played show match. They're playing all the games. It's $40 a win. Thank you, Dan Song, again. Smiley's in chat, by the way, for him. I don't know if he's been able to make it. But Lierey's gone for Indians, a civ I'll talk about in a bit, and MBL's gone for Vikings. And on Slopes, it's all about options like many maps in Hidden Cup. Hidden Cup has a large mix of land maps, closed maps, and hybrid maps. And so what you have here is you have 2 shorefish and 4 deer on either side of the player's base. Whereas in Hidden Cup 3, it was 5 or 6 shorefish, I think. And Indians having a shorefish bonus led to them being picked quite frequently. The other benefit of having shorefish is that you can wall in your villagers quite easily next to the mill. And you can't do that when you're taking deer. But you notice how we positioned the shorefish. It's not so easy to wall in your villagers, and there's only 2 of them. So that will be important, and a build order that people would go for and think about was to actually go for the mill before lumber camp. I don't think that's a smart play personally in my testing games, but we did a lot of testing games. There will be more testing games because we have 4 new maps to unveil when the main event happens March 18th through the 21st. And in the games I played against 2K1, 2K2 players, Indians feel strong, but they do not feel like easily the best civilization on this map. Specifically, civs like Japanese, Goths, any man-at-arm, like crazy man-at-arm aggression civ that has a solid follow-up, especially with eco bonuses, can beat Indians. But we'll see. How come he's using Vikings on Slopes and not saved for Black Forest? Pasty Man, are you just the biggest Black Forest fan or what? Or Fatslop fan, I should say. What the?
Oh.
MVL's gonna wall already? Look at the approach, guys. Just look at the approach. Liereyy, 2 villagers on wood, sending 3 villagers to build a mill on the shorefish, and the deer to get food. MBL, 1 villager walling already. Another villager walling already. Keep this in mind. I understand that this is just a show match, and this is the first time they're probably playing on the settings, and the event's not for over a month. But both of these players will be in Hidden Cup 4, and they will be playing on a hero name, and we will not know who is who. So remember this moment if you want any tidbits of information on the players. Someone walling in Dark Age 5 minutes in, MBL confirmed. And he even pushed in a deer. He does not want to leave himself exposed at all. Truthfully, Indians do have a lot more mobility. So it would be rather tough if Indians get to a lot of scouts. MBL showing Liereyy what he's up to. And even got a hit there with his villager. Lierey's probably just looking to see what MBL is doing. Is MBL over here? He doesn't see it as he has to run away. Another thing to bring up about Slopes, and this is by far one of the best maps. I say this with extreme bias, and I will admit that I didn't make any of it. It was just my idea that I wrote out on Paint. But of all the maps I've seen over the years, I love Slopes probably the most. It's better than Bay. Cup is also up there. But like the fact that it's difficult to wall unless your name is MBL. And then there's gold and stones in the middle of the push. Then you have the extra golds and stones on the sides, combined with all the Dark Age and Feudal Age fun with the resources. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of this map. I'm very happy with what it turned into, and I'm really excited to see what the games end up being. But yeah, that's basically what happens when I make maps for Hidden Cup, is I have a team. We brought Krazini in this year, who's done good work with other tournaments, right? And I say, hey, team, this is what I'm thinking. And I basically just get paint up, and I draw it. And then everyone gets to work, and we say, okay, let's change this, let's change that, let's change this, let's change that. And post the drawing. I don't know if I still have the Slopes one, because that was over a year ago, but they're pretty bad at the start. I mean, they're pretty bad in general, so. I mean, is this good or bad logic from MBL? I'm curious in your thoughts. Because Vikings, they get free wheelbarrows starting in Feudal Age, which is a great bonus. And maybe he doesn't want to leave himself exposed before that kicks in. Like, Lierey's going to have an insane feudal age uptime. He's already on the way. And Lierey's going for man-at-arms. All right, so Lierey's going to go for man-at-arms to try and break down those walls. But at least MBL with the walls will feel a bit safer so he doesn't get overwhelmed by any fast build order. Now, I'm curious on Lierey's scouting, and this is what's fun about Slopes. Did he check this side? No, he did not. So he's probably going to attack the walls, and he might just assume that MBL is not choosing to take it. Yeah, okay, he's checked over here. He knows MBL's not there. Is he going to attack walls, or is he going to see if MBL has villas over here? It's not going to be easy for MBL to wall this up. Ah, MBL did this in Hidden Cup 3 as well. He always made his barracks and his stable outside of his walls. And again, I don't know if he's going to go for a stable. He's probably not expecting 4 men-at-arms from Liereyy, though. Can tell you that much. Instant reaction from MBL should be to place a house here. Liereyy, typical Liereyy, is going to follow this up with some archers. Now, Liereyy could also go over here. So he's sending more villagers to take the resources on this side. Still has deer to work with now after he finished off the shorefish. And Liereyy, just an update on the scouting. This is probably the only mistake he's made this game. He has not checked to see if MBL's over here. MBL will reach feudal in a moment. What will his decision be? Will it be an archery range on the side, or will it be farms? It looks like he's chosen farms. Greedy, greedy, greedy boy. Do you want to force MBL into house walls? I don't know about that. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Men-at-arms immediately stop attacking the houses, and it's because Liereyy spotted there were vills there, and MBL, I think he's realized that he spotted, but what does he do about it? Scouts engaging. Liereyy scouts the weaker one, but Liereyy has support. Will Liereyy lose that scout? He will. MBL? This is what Liereyy can see. MBL should have time to deal with. Wait a second. Because he's Vikings and he has wheelbarrow, his villagers are faster than men-at-arms. I didn't think about that fact. That's really funny. Because he has free wheelbarrow, his villagers work... Wow. Yeah, he can just run home. So I don't think he was ever worried there. If that were me, I would have walled in my vills, and then the archer would show up, and then my vills would die. That's really good thinking. And he could use these scouts to cut off the archer reinforcements if he spots it. Hello? MBL. Okay, a little bit slow on that. I also don't think making the stable outside was the smartest move, but we'll see if he's able to do something more. Now check this out. Liereyy, he clearly has an idea of how he feels this map should be played as he's going over here to see if MBL switch sides. He's done that. He's taking food on both sides. MBL doesn't seem to have huge interest in taking that side. He's just going to stick with farms, which long-term is going to be the better option. And he's also just going to lose his stable now, which it's not great. It's not great at all. Liereyy has a spearman here protecting these villagers. That's good to see. MBL does have 4 scouts, though. He could easily take out vills with 4 scouts. Now, let's check MBL's scouting, because if he didn't scout those sides, he doesn't have a clue. Oh, man. If he would have scouted this area, he could at least see in the fog of war that the deer were dead. Here he comes. Liereyy tries to house wall, and Liereyy will fail with the house wall, and I don't think he'll lose a villager. Oh, he does lose a villager, and Liereyy actually intentionally did that because he wanted the TC to get big hits on the scouts, but MBL dodged it anyways. And MBL, who's already going to be better off with eco when it comes to free wheelbarrow, gets 2 vill picks. However, he lost a scout, and one is very, very weak. And now you have Liereyy realizing he's not over there. I wonder if he'll consider taking it then. Probably too risky. He's going to attack the walls. And we have Liereyy also shifting over with his men-at-arms and archers. MBL does have a range now, and he's going to make skirmishers. What do you think, guys, about how this game is developed? It feels as though... I think MBL is going to have to formulate some type of game plan to use the sides a little bit more. But overall, with free wheelbarrow kicking in and Liereyy not having many farms, I could see how Liereyy could have some problems in the mid-game here compared to MBL. Just really fun, man. We've talked about all the corners. We've talked about Lierey's base. We've talked about MBL's base. And yeah, MBL will defend this, no problem. Honestly, MBL shouldn't even get fletching. because Liereyy is so known for not getting... Okay, Liereyy is known for getting fletching in this position, but he's also known for skipping fletching just so he can have a faster castle age, which is what I was going to say originally, but apparently Liereyy doesn't want to make me look smart. So thanks for that, Liereyy. You're cool. You're great. He's sending a lot of archers forward, though. Ooh, there's Vills over here. Will Liereyy spot this? Okay, this is Leary's point of view. I mean, either way, Liereyy could lose Vills. He could lose Vills here, and MBL will kill that villager now. And there's still 3 villagers over there. Oh, God. MBL has the weak one pulled away. Liereyy realizes they're rather weak. This is good confidence from Liereyy. Oh, boy. Can he save her? Doink! She dead. Okay, so she's dead. MBL will end up losing the scout. Whatever. Lierey's still knocking on the door. MBL still hasn't clicked up. But considering he's researched wheelbarrow and Liereyy has not... And MBL will get handcart for free in the next stage. If MBL can just find the food to click up, I think MBL will be in a very good position. But again, another game where MBL is going to be way behind a castle age. And what the... Oh, wow, this villager's very weak in there for MBL. And the men-at-arms get through. MBL only has a few skirmishers here to defend. And MBL forced into a tower. Massive advantage for Liereyy now. Is it massive? I think that's a tower where you make it because you think the fight's 50-50. I think MBL with upgrades could easily take out Lierey's force soon. MBL's now missing gold to click up. He's missing 25 food to click up. He just needed a little bit more. Ah, man, and there he goes. Now he's clicked up, but he will have to defend big time against Liereyy. I'm wondering what Lierey's eco is going to look like because he is lacking villagers compared to MBL, but his military count's looking healthy. 12 ranged units to work with, and even spearmen and men-at-arms mixed in. Late Bird, hello. He says, IT90, are the qualifiers for Hidden Cup 4 also in February, or are they shortly before the main event? Kind of both. So it's a 64-player bracket, and that bracket is finalized within the next 24 hours. I will have a video on that showing you the bracket. I'll talk about it, talk about predictions, because only 8 players of the 64 can qualify. But yeah, that's going to start officially this coming week and last 3 weeks. So for the round of 64, I cannot cast all of them because it's so many games. But I will cast some of them and make sure they're structured so you guys know when to watch them and where. And the other thing, as Lierey's going this way, and he's getting elite skirm too. The final 2 rounds will be structured on weekends, most likely. So it'll be best of 7s because winning, it's basically like a tournament in and of itself, right? There's some big names in it. Names that we'll talk about here in a bit, but there'll be best of 7s, and hopefully, like, MBL will co-cast 1 or 2 with me, Liereyy will co-cast 1 or 2 with me, Harrow will co-cast 1 or 2 with me. I'm going to try and have the top 8 who are already in the main event co-casting their sets. Be cool to see them talking about the competition. All right, so I wouldn't say it's ideal, MBL's position, right? These Vikings, and how many times have we talked about Vikings being dominant? And if they just survive because of their eco. So he's going to make a few towers here. Lierey's done a great job pressuring all these wood lines because MBL doesn't have good access to wood right now. I wonder if Lierey's tempted to dive that tower. He's not. And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you're kidding me. Look at this. If MBL would have just scouted this, he could have killed all of those villagers. So yeah, Lierey's really aggressive, but MBL's been able to find some success with defensive plays on this map. And it excites me too because Vikings was never picked in Hidden Cup 3. I maintained even then that civs other than Indians could be strong, but a lot of players would go for Indians. And you can kind of see how Lierey's eco run out, or he was relying so heavily on the shorefish and the deer, and he didn't invest into farms, and now he has 5 on food. I also think we've seen reward from both players scouting. Liereyy has rewarded himself with some good scouting, but MBL, he's done the same. And in this instance, anyways, if he would have scouted a bit better, he would have found those lumberjacks we just talked about at Lierey's base. Very much a base trade situation, though, with the ranged units. 48 villagers versus 39 right now. Is Dow co-cast a possibility? I'm going to ask all the top 8 to co-cast with me. It comes down to scheduling when that time comes. I think Doubt would be interested in doing that. I don't think Yo would be interested in doing it. I don't think Dogao would have huge interest in doing it. We'll see. And MBL just defending with skirms now. Lierey's crossbows look pretty darn useless. MBL maintains his eco lead. MBL now has a slight military lead. And Liereyy, he does have a second TC and Indian villagers are cheaper, so it's a bit easier to boom in this situation compared to other civs. I think Liereyy could do the same. It's a little awkward. Micro's needed, but I think he can defend here. When do the qualification brackets come out? I don't know if you just got here. I said it. It'll be within 24 hours. But what we can look at as Lierey's patrolling this side, just to see if MBL is going to expand to take the wood, which is so important, or maybe take the gold. Look at this. He's on the other side. But yeah, anyways, there is a Google Doc that's out, which is an unofficial ranking of the players right now, and we can look at that at least. Will Burgundians and Sicilians be playable in Hidden Cup 4? Yes. Yep, they're allowed. And the qualifiers as well, they're allowed. Of course, we had recent balance changes to them, right? It nerfed the unique unit, fixed that one bug against archers. Also, Sicilians, I think, had some recent changes too. So, I think so anyways. I could be wrong. Anyways, I basically am just going to answer yes to that question because obviously I'm working hard behind the scenes to make sure things are in a decent state. So, this game's going late, people. Look at this. Liereyy going to expand to the right side where there's stone and there's wood. MBL over here where there's gold and there's wood. MBL here where there's stone and there's wood. So if you haven't noticed, there's stone and gold on either side near the ponds, and both players realizing the importance of getting those wood lines. I see Cav upgrade coming in for Liereyy. Now, he doesn't even have horse collar or wheelbarrow yet, so I think his eco number is extremely deceiving. I don't think he'll be able to afford much. But that might mean that he's scared of skirms and wants to make camels as Indians. Burgundians have a massive bug with hand cannoneers. They did for about 2 hours, Gonkull. They did for about 2 hours after that hotfix. Just like Byzantines. Byzantine fire ships could destroy a dock in 2 seconds. That was also fixed. But what's sick about this map, right, is you expand and find reward on the sides, but guess what's in the middle? Tons of stone and tons of gold. So I could see someone, like, if Huang plays in this, what do you think Huang's going to do on a map where all the stones and golds are, like, positioned in the middle? People are going to just be running around the sides of the map as Huang is taking the middle. I can't wait. Also, I would hate to be someone who is around seed 50 right now, because I think Huang is going to be around seed 22, 23-ish in the qualifying bracket. And there's a few names who are around there who are hoping they're not going to be up against Huang in a best of 3. I think it's best of 3. I really should know this, but Huang signed up for the qualifier, yeah. So, fun fact, if I were to sign up for the qualifier, I would probably be around seed 50, which would put me as one of the players to potentially play against Huang in the qualifier. I would just resign. No, I'd say, nope, I'm a caster, sorry. I'm not going to do it. I thought about it. I was going to sign up. Huang or no Huang, I've got to focus on making sure the event is shown to people. But I think in 2021, I'll probably sign up for tournaments. I'm not, involved in casting and covering and broadcasting. So it would take away, I wouldn't play at my best because I'm not preparing or practicing. So I wouldn't be able to display my quality. And then also it wouldn't be able to show the quality games to you, which is important to me. And I like what Lierey's done here. Siege Workshop on this hill seems so... makes so much sense, since MBL's defending with primarily skirmishers. I do notice MBL stayed on stone, and I think in this matchup, if we could see elite berserks, it would force Indians completely out of their camels. But look at this. Lierey's showing up with camels. He says, you're not going to camp with just skirmishers. I'm making siege and I'm making camels. MBL, I think he wants to go Imperial and Berserks, but he's losing control as he's trying to get there. Is Airtug allowed to sign up? He's allowed to sign up. It doesn't mean we're going to put him in the tournament. He can type his name out if he wants to. That's no problem. What's up, Remlap? What's up, Ego? MBL's gonna go up to Imp, as he would say. And yeah, the plan is definitely to castle. I just don't know where he chooses to castle. Do you want to castle this side when you're about to get Maganel pushed? On one hand, you do, because you don't want to lose the space. On the other hand, can you comfortably do it? I'm not so sure. Do you want to castle the middle, where you have a third of your eco? Do you want to castle the right side, which is currently safe? Also a third of your eco? I don't know, man. I mean, MBL could open up with Skirm Arbalest. He is making crossbowmen, so I don't think he'll go immediately into Berserks. And Liereyy, it still doesn't have Horsecollar. All the farms that he's adding, they are not going to last a long time. And he's officially reached that stage where I think, oh my god, MBL. You're crazy, dude. He's got camels and skirmishers and Maganels attacking this TC. And he's going to try and defend with one spearman and one Maganel and I guess some towers. And he's going to drop a castle in Lierey's face. Like, if I'm going to lose my side, you're going to lose the side as well, I guess is the logic. This is so risky, though. Imagine if Liereyy had any military. He could have one Maganel and completely deny this. But it's also kind of a good move, because if you invest into a castle here, you're probably going to take some losses while you do it. So he's just, as I call him, cockroaching it up and defending in a really awkward spot. And now he's going to go for such a crazy play. This is going to be so tilting for Liereyy. Because now Lierey's got 12 villagers that he'll need to somehow save. El Webero, if you just got here, this series has just continued to get better and better here today. All 5 games are played. It's not actually a best of 5. I don't know why it says that. But it might end up looking like a best of 5 if MBL gets the win. Bracer on the way. Liereyy has to move away because of MBL's attempts there. And now I think you have to run with these villagers. The MBL is clicked. Bracer. Arbalest will complete in a bit as well. Lierey's still got a bunch of skirms with a bunch of upgrades and a bunch of camels and guess what? A bunch of Maganels. So he can buy himself some time and he can start fortifying the other area, dropping castles, towers, anything to defend. But MBL's got enough military at home to potentially hold, and he still has a force here. I don't know where that came from. Liereyy says, for now, I'll just take out your archer ranges, I guess. Again, this gets me excited because Indians was the clear #1 pick, at least in the high-level players' eyes in Hidden Cup 3. We made a few tweaks. MBL's picked freaking Vikings here. And he also played it in a completely different way. He didn't even take a lot of his deer and a lot of his shorefish in the Dark Age. And he's lost some ranges here, but he is eventually just going to clear this up. And he's all over Liereyy at the moment, who is very far away from clicking up to Imp. In fact, that TC is going to get tripped down. I think MBL has honestly just won the game. 113 vills for MBL. He's an Imp. 88 villagers for Liereyy. He's in Castle Age. Indian camels do have some extra pierce armor compared to other camels, so this can be a decent fight for Liereyy possibly. But can he respond to what else is coming? That hurt a little bit, but I don't think MBL's too worried. More ranges for MBL. Crazy game. Indians also got nerfed. They used to carry more fish and collect faster. I think the biggest thing is we removed the amount of fish. Instead of having 6, it's 2. But what's funny is, as MBL wins the game, and what an exceptional game, man. I don't think anyone really has this map figured out. I don't know if it's possible to figure out this map and know what's best. But I'm not going to say his name, but someone who's in the qualifiers messaged me literally 3 days ago and said, hey, just want to give you some feedback. The best Civ is still Indians by far on slopes. There's no question. And then another player messaged me who's also in the qualifiers and said, I'm sick of, I hate how slopes is going to be an Indians fest. And I was like, I said to them, are you sure? That's all I said. And so, again, I'm not going to call them out because there's 64 people in the qualifiers. Could be anyone. At least MBL showed here that that might not actually be the case. And there's some things to think about. But damn, wasn't this a beautiful game? I mean, think about how this developed even in Dark Age into Feudal Age. Liereyy was scouting the sides to see if MBL was taking the resources. Lierey's first scouted the right side, found MBL on the left side. MBL had a strategy to abandon this side. And then he eventually took this. He just didn't end up taking it till later. And he was just happy to sit behind his walls. One person went aggressive. One person went defensive. One person turned the defense into offense. The other person turned the offense into more offense. I'm very happy with how that went down. So I'll say this, and YouTube, you're going to get sick of this. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. March 18th through the 21st. I will give you information. I will give you games for the qualifiers themselves, because the qualifiers are important to see who else makes it to the main event of Hidden Cup. But all you YouTubers out there who typically don't have time for streams, if you want to plan to get there, main event will be amazing, and we're just ramping up and getting hyped for it here right now. Let me go and see. Let me look at the statistics real quick. Game 5 will be on Hideout, a map that you guys are probably more familiar with, but it also is changed and tweaked going into this year. 87 units killed, 59 units lost. MBL with the better KD, but MBL with more food, wood, stone, and not gold. But I think it would have eventually been gold with the amount of control he would have had there. Vikings are such a 6-6 civ. What makes that fascinating, the fact that Vikings won there, is the fact that Vikings are also notorious for being strong on another Hidden Cup map, which is Cup. One that will not be in the qualifiers and will be one of the main event only maps. Whew.